Okay, guys, one more video before we start getting into making some sales and setting up your business. But one thing I want to cover very quickly is the two options you really have for being a freelancer are using freelance marketplaces like Legiit or marketing yourself through your own website or however you want to go about it. I'm going to talk a little bit about each. So when I talk about a marketplace, I mean a website like Legiit. There's a few others out there. This is the one that I recommend that you use, but is where anybody can list their own services as opposed to listing them on your own website or marketing them just through referrals and things like that. So let me give you an example of a self-marketed one. Here's a good example of a website that is doing their own freelancing and not using a marketplace. They just installed some sort of e-commerce solution on their site and sold services directly through it. And this is an example of a site that's selling their own services directly through their own site as opposed to going through a marketplace. And, there are some advantages and disadvantages to that, but I just wanted to give you an example of each. So this is a marketing yourself kind of freelancing business. And this is a marketplace. You can see there's tons of different sellers on here. Let's just pick a random category. Selling a variety of different things. So that's kind of what they are. A marketplace is this place where you don't own the site, but you list your services alongside a bunch of other people. And then a self-hosted site is where you just put them on your website, or it doesn't even have to be a website. So let's jump back into the presentation. So the advantages of marketplaces are that they have their own traffic built in, meaning that you are going to get sales organically just through the traffic and the people already browsing the site. They have built-in design tools. If you saw that example I just gave you, it wasn't very visually appealing because it's very complicated to set those things up, and you have to have some design and tech skills. With a marketplace, as we're going to show you later when we set up our first service, you have all these tools built in to format your page nicely and all kinds of things like that. So you have built-in management tools, so you'll be able to track where an order is, what the details and requirements of it are, the communication with the customer about that order, and all sorts of other things that just make it a lot easier on it and take that time away from that you can focus more on selling and marketing your services and fulfilling them. You have built-in communication tools, so somebody can message you directly through the site, and you just log in and you see all your messages from all your customers or potential customers there, as opposed to having to have them click on a contact form on your website, have that go over to email, answer the email, then have them go back to the site to place the order. It's all bundled right in one. They have built-in marketing tools. They usually have a way to make your service stand out. They have things that they do for you to get more sales to your services, things like that. So you're going to have to do all that on your own. When you have a marketplace, you have a team behind you doing that for you. Protection and support. So unfortunately, one of the things that happens in digital services particularly is people will try to get away without paying, basically. And when you do that, when you have to deal with that on your own, when you do it through yourself, when you're doing your own marketing. If you use a marketplace, they have a support team and a protection team in place to help you with that. It's free to start on a marketplace, at least on most of them. It is on Legiit. You don't have to buy a domain, buy hosting, get somebody to design a site, set up the e-commerce. It's free. You don't have to do any of that. It's free to start, and you can start in as little as a few minutes. And there's no upkeep. You don't have to pay, renewing hosting fees and getting more designers to make the site look nice. All that's done for you. So those are kind of the main advantages of a marketplace. The advantages of self-marketing are you keep 100% of what you sell. So when you sell something on a marketplace, they're usually going to take Legiit's takes the least of any of them, but it takes about 15% to cover their cost and make a little bit of money. And then there's no guidelines. So marketplaces have certain things that they don't allow you to sell or allow you to do. When you do through your own site, you're kind of your own boss there. Of course, you also assume all the risk as well. So those are kind of the advantages and disadvantages and examples of marketplaces versus self-marketing. I highly, highly, highly recommend you use marketplaces like Legiit to do your freelancing because the advantages are so much more. And especially if you're just getting started and you don't have that kind of tech background, it's going to be a lot easier on you to use a marketplace. But I wanted to present you with both options just in case. So if you have any questions about that, ask in the Facebook group. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.